Alright, hi guys. So this is my first video. I got some talking points that I'm gonna work on, and then we're going to get to this reading. Let's see where to start. So my channel is gonna be a few different things, so it may apply to several different people. Initially, we are going to have tarot and not just tarot readings, but also some breakdowns of individual decks and kind of some dive-ins to specific cards and specific decks that have a lot of subliminal messages throughout, and you know how those kind of fit into what each tarot card means, because I've noticed recently when I've been using some decks that I'm seeing some things that aren't, you know, readily apparent in the cards that the artists have hidden for people to find on their own, and I think that's really cool, and I'd like to dive into some of that. Something else we're going to be doing on my channel is crystals, and I actually do a lot of nature walks and hiking, and I find my own and tumble my own, so that is something we'll be getting into. I'll be taking you guys on some of those hikes and nature walks with me, so you'll be right beside me as we're collecting and then going through the process of either tumbling or cutting and, you know, all that fun stuff. And as we're learning about the actual geology, I'll also be teaching you some of the spiritual significance of each stone. That'll be a lot of fun for you know, people who are into the metaphysical part of it, and then people who are also into the geology. I'm also going to be doing nail art. I do my own nails, mostly press-ons, although we will be experimenting a lot. I'm a big advocate for experimenting until you find what works for you. So we'll be using things like acrylic and gel and powders and, you know, all the good stuff. What else? I've got a lot of animals, so for those of you who like that, I'll be doing some like vlogging, and you guys will get to meet all of our pets. We have 6 dogs, 3 cats, a lizard, and a tarantula in the house currently. We have a big house, and we live on a pretty big piece of land, so we have lots of space, and where we live, the animals just honestly keep showing up, and we just kind of take them in. We live in a rural area, and people are not kind and do dump their animals, and they, you know, wander looking for help, and they find it, and we take them in. So you will be meeting some of them. None of them are up for adoption, by the way. They are our pets. We love them. They are part of the family. Next, I guess we'll talk about why I decided to do this channel. I'm probably not going to be showing my face in it for a while, mostly because I'm not doing this for any kind of recognition, and there are some people in my life currently that I don't know if they will be okay with my lifestyle choices. So we're just gonna kind of wait for now and see how things play out before I will actually introduce myself. The reason I'm doing this channel is because I want to help people. I want to educate, and I want to teach people how to recognize their patterns, and you know, if their lives are difficult, find out, you know, how they can adapt and how they can face our day-to-day struggles and not feel so alone, and not feel like everyone misunderstands, and to feel like they have a home. You know, I want people to feel like they can come here and find something that they can relate to, and just kind of put away everything else for the day and just hang out with me. So we'll go ahead and get down to the reading. Feel free to leave any questions or comments. I will be answering, for now at least, as often as I can. And, you know, as long as the comment section stays nice, I'll stay nice and I'll leave the comment section open. Let's be kind to each other in this area, okay? So this is a peaceful spot here. All right, this reading. This was not my initial plan for my first reading on this channel, but I was very nervous about starting this channel, so I did a personal reading, and this is what I got. And I actually feel like this is probably something that can relate to a lot of people, so I wanted to share it with you guys. We've got the Knight of Wands verified by the Seven of Cups, the Eight of Pentacles verified by the Page of Cups, Death and Rebirth verified by the Lovers, and the Emperor as the overall energy. You know, I'm not going to get into the individual breakdown of every card in this video. I honestly, as my first video, don't want to make it too long because I don't know how much memory I'm actually capable of recording at the moment. As my channel advances, I'll be getting better equipment and stuff that'll record better videos and better audio and all the good things for you guys. But for now, I'm just going to work with what I have. So with me being so nervous about starting this channel and being, you know, seen in a way that I don't want to be seen, I started channeling. I have a specific spirit guide that I channel, and he's been with me for a while, and he pops in and helps me when I'm in situations like this. His name is Senric. I'm sure you guys will hear me talk about him a lot. He's very present. So he kind of comes to me during these readings, guys. This isn't... So I have done all the studying, and I have learned all of the meanings behind these cards. But a lot of it is, you know, messages. And when I say channeled messages, I mean, you know, it's something outside. It's not my own thoughts. Sometimes I don't even remember the channeling. So I do try to keep notes, but most of my notes you're going to see are very technical notes because the channeling part does not really get saved unless I record it, which I might start doing. But as of now, there's too much going on, and I don't want to start too much and not be able to keep up. So yeah, I'm rambling. Knight of Wands. You know, the Knight of Wands, look at her. She's completely standing in her power. She's loving life. She's enjoying things. She's got that fire, you know, fire sign energy. So my guides tell me that the message this card is trying to convey to me personally is that I've already started this. The spark has already been ignited. It's already there. Can't avoid it. You know, it's already started. If I don't do it, it's going to be something that keeps bothering me. So, you know, I've already ignited that spark. Eight of Pentacles, you know, I've honed the craft. I've done all the studying, all the practicing. I've learned everything that I need to know, and it's time to apply that. And that means being brave and stepping into it. And, you know, here I am. The Death and the Rebirth card speaks about letting go. You know, I can't just keep holding on to these fears and letting them control me. I've got to shed that old skin so that we can rebuild. And, you know, start this new adventure and, you know, not be afraid of it, because, you know, death isn't really something that we need to be afraid of. I know everybody gets, you know, worked up when they see the Death card, and I used to when I first started before, you know, I learned the meaning of it. But really, the Death card it's natural. It's something that we should embrace. I mean, death isn't something to be feared. It's an absolute in this world, right? It's the one consistent thing, and why should we be afraid of something that is so consistent and so inevitable. And, you know, we go through cycles, things end and things go away because we've got to make room for new things, you know? If we keep those old, stale, stagnant things in our life, they're taking up space that could be used by something better, honestly, and something that is going to be for your greater good and help you, you know, grow and advance and all of the good things. Seven of Cups, you know, you've got all these options and these choices, and you know, I'm already starting out so with so much that I plan on doing with this channel. So it's talking about, you know, trying to make up my mind. I have all these options and trying to decide, and I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed, and I don't know really what I'm doing, to be honest, and I'm kind of learning as I go still, and that's part of it. Is you're never really going to be ready. You're gonna have to just go for it, because if you don't, you're never going to. Page of Cups. You know, if you look at him, he's gazing off, and I say daydreaming because, you know, here's something that you don't see, is a pig with wings, and people say when pigs fly. So, you know, it's kind of one of those, is it ever going to happen? And yeah, I mean, your dreams can, and it is okay to dream, and it's okay to have dreams even if other people don't agree with them. It's okay if other people don't like your lifestyle, because it's not their life, it's yours. And you know, if they don't like what you're serving at the table, they can eat somewhere else. You know, it's really hard when you love and care about people and they misunderstand you and they don't accept you. And, you know, sometimes no matter how you try, they're not going to, and that's okay. They're not meant to. And everyone is on their own journey, and everyone is on a different journey. And sometimes our roads have a fork in the road, and you just gotta separate. And that doesn't mean that you won't ever come back into each other's lives, because, you know, your roads might lead back together at some point. But for now, sometimes you gotta put in some distance in order for you to get what, you know, what you need to get your needs met and to feel fulfilled in your life. The Lovers. A lot of times the Lovers will be shown in relationship readings, but we are not taking it like that, because this is not a relationship reading. In a reading like this, the Lovers is something that talks about integrating and aligning two sides of one. So, you know, bringing yourself into alignment, embracing the part of you that's afraid, and accepting that, and, you know, letting yourself be afraid, letting yourself be vulnerable. And, you know, that's why I decided to share this reading with you guys, was this card. And, you know, it's, for me, I'm a super independent person, and it's been, I lean very much towards masculine energy due to some traumas that I've had in my life, and feeling like I've had to be strong and bulletproof. But lately I have been trying to balance and integrate more of my soft, feminine, nurturing side. And, you know, it's hard sometimes, but the more we come into alignment, the easier it is, and the more natural things start to feel. And, you know, when you're balanced, things can just flow through you easier. There's not as much resistance. There's not as much struggle. You know, a lot of our internal struggle gets projected into our outer worlds, and we can get ourselves stuck in these loops where we're just, you know, in this bad energy, and it's so hard to get out of it. But when we allow ourselves to be vulnerable and to come into alignment, things do start opening up and things become easier. It's just that initial push. It is hard to get over. But, you know, the emperor is a leader, and he doesn't lead with, you know, dictatorship and aggression, and he's a softer leader, and he leads with understanding and compassion. He leads with structure and balance. So, you know, it's about integrating it. You know, we can have this masculine energy and still be soft. We can be soft leaders. We can, you know, have compassion and empathy for each other. And if we do that more, then, you know, more people won't be afraid to be vulnerable. So it starts with us. And, you know, the world is a scary place, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Because the only way we're going to make it less scary is doing it together. One more thing I wanted to say about this, in case it's relevant to anybody looking for anything. I went for a walk the other day while I was channeling this reading. Or, you know, I go for walks to channel what the general message should be about before I come and sit down and do my reading. I like to ground myself out in nature. And as I was walking, I found a ton of, let's see, it's a little hard for y'all to see, a ton of raw blue calcite. So I am going to be tumbling these with my next set. I have 3 tumblers, and I've got them all 3 full right now, so it's going to be a bit, but they will come up again. You'll be seeing them again, and I will take you guys through the entire tumbling process with me, and we will go over the spiritual meaning of these as well. But I just wanted you guys to know that on the day that I was out channeling, I kept finding all of these. So if this message resonated for anybody, you may be interested in going out and getting some of this. You know, maybe I'll do a giveaway for this channel. Let's do that. Everybody, if this resonated for you, leave a candle in the comment section. And once these are done tumbled, if you stick around through the process, and we get them all tumbled, I will put them in a goodie bag and I will ship them to you guys. I'll do a drawing, so whoever wins the drawing in the comments section will get a little goodie bag with all this blue calcite. If the reading resonated, leave that in the comments. Let me know. Any comments, suggestions, you know, keep it nice, but I am open to criticism. Let me know what you guys thought. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun here. Once I figure out the technical parts behind it and it stops being quite so frustrating, this is gonna be a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this channel, the channeling messages. Give me a like, a comment, subscribe, you know, all the things. I love you guys, and take care of yourselves. Stay hydrated. Go out and get into nature, breathe some fresh air. You know, be gentle on yourselves. The world is cruel enough. Bye, guys.